Hello YouTube, my name is Ekuegan, you call me EK. In today's video, I'm going to go over what I run on my Warlock. You've probably seen a lot of people run the Starfire protocol setup, but I just want to talk about like what goes into it and what fragments and aspects I have on. So generally, we're going to start out with the exotic that we're using here. So fusion grenades have an additional charge and recharge from empowered weapon damage. Fusion grenades kills Great Rift energy. So you can basically chain this the whole time with the solar setup. The neat thing is, when it says here recharges from empowered weapon damage, that means you need to run either a well or empowering rift, right? So, of course, empowering rift is going to be one of the main things that I kind of start out with here. Now, jump, you can use whatever you like. My melee is Scorch because, you know, I like to snap and see things kind of burn. The grenade is also going to be fusion grenades. It's an explosive grenade that attaches twice and then immediately scorches enemies on detonation. When it comes to the aspects, of course I'm using Touch of Flame because as you can see here, it makes the fusion grenade explode twice, which happens to, you know, do a lot of damage. Next we have Icarus Dash. The other option that you can use is Heat Rises, but I'm not using Heat Rise in this instance. So Icarus Dash is the play here, especially for movement. If you wanted to, if you're out there, you're like, I don't care about the fusion thing, right? I just want to do like a base Warlock setup where I can kind of move fast, have double dodge, maybe run traverses steps. Then sure, you could do Icarus Dash and Heat Rises together. But we're talking about like a PvE aspect doing damage. When it comes down to my fragments, I have on Ember Ashes. That means I get to apply more Scorch to targets. You can see here that my melee applies Scorch, but then my fusion grenade also does it, and it has a pretty nice radius, right? I also have Ember Solace. Radiant and Restoration effects applied to me have increased duration. The Restoration side is tied up to, there's a class artifact mod that's called Classy Restoration, and I'm going to be going into that at some point here. But that's there for a certain reason. Now, my Solar Ignition have increased area of effect. That being, when I throw that grenade and it sticks onto something and it starts blowing up, right? When Scorch stacks up on enemies, eventually they end up exploding, right? So I kind of want that to be a bigger thing. There are a few different options for this one. You don't need this. And then I have Solar Weapons or Ability Final Blows extend the duration of Restoration and Radiant effect applied to me. So if I'm killing my grenade, right, and I have my rift up and I do damage while I have the rift up and I get my grenade back and my grenade kills, it's going to be my rift back, right? So essentially, you can keep chaining this, and if you have a solar weapon on, especially if you're running Gallonhorn, Sunshot, whatever your preferred choice is, you can basically keep Restoration going. And when Restoration happens, you can tank a lot of damage. Like, things could be shooting the crap out of you. You're not going to die unless, you know, it's overwhelming, right? Now, for Ember of Eruption, there's a few more options here. You have Benevolence, which is currently disabled by Bungie, right? This will also allow you to get your grenade, your melee, and your class ability regen for a short duration, but that's currently not here. Ember Beams is cool, but if you're running well, you're not going to be using this. Ember Combustion, final blows with your solar super cost targets at night. We're also not using this because we're not really doing anything with our super, all right? Let's go down to Char. Your solar ignition spreads course to affect the targets. The thing here is the fusion grenade is going to have a huge radius anyway, so you're going to be able to spread that out. So I don't think you really need this as much. Ember of Tempering. Solar weapon final blows grant you and your allies increased recovery for a short duration. Once again, if we're running a restoration, you don't need this at all, okay? Ember Blistering. Defeat target solar ignitions grant grenade energy. We're using Starfire Protocol, right? You put down your rift, you do damage, you're going to get that energy back. I'll also show it here if needed. Ember of Eruption. Your solar ignitions, that's basically what we have up here. Ember of Ashes, you apply more Scorch, stacks the targets. This could be something that you can take out for Eruption, but I like the increased area effect. But you could definitely put the two together if you want to. Ember Wonder, rapidly defeating multiple targets with solar ignitions, generate your orbit power. I don't really feel like that's needed. And defeating Scorch targets also grant you melee energy. I don't really think I need that either, so I kind of left that out. Also, you don't really need to build into your grenade that much. The first two things you probably want to prioritize is going to be your resilience and recovery. I currently have like a bunch of stuff all over the place. I'm also going to show you what I meant about restoration here soon. Restoration, once again, is part of the artifact this season. Activating your solar class abilities grants you restoration. All right, so that's one thing that I have here as well on my bond. Now, I'm going to use my rift here. There we are. Now, if I stick one of these guys with my grenade, boom. You see that I have my rift back, right? And if I'm in this rift, I'm empowered. And if I do damage to any of these guys, I got my grenade back. You see that? So if I do any damage while I'm empowered, I get my grenade back. And then if I kill with my grenade, I get my rift back. So they both kind of go together. Boom. That guy's dead. Your rift is back. You literally only need one kill. And as you can see, if you stand in the rift, you can do the same thing. Once again, your well also counts as the same thing. Now, let me show you classy restoration. We are going to move up to these guys here. They're shooting me. They're kind of shooting me. Okay. Come on. Come on. Stop being wussies. Come on. Come on. Oh, my God. All right, you know what? Here we are. So we taking a bunch of damage. Now I'm standing here. You're going to see that they're going to shoot me a bunch, right? But my health, it's not really moving because of classy restoration. And I'm going to have this for about another 2 seconds. Now, let's say I killed this guy with a grenade, right? I got my rift back. I put it back down. Restoration is proc for another 10 seconds. You see my health bar? And that's a shrieker like literally just beaming me down. So you can basically set this up to where you can be a tank and you can do a lot of damage. So if you focus on one single target, for example, all right, I gotta go. If you focus on one single target, for example, you drop a wall or a rift and you keep shooting them with empowering, you have whatever weapons you have, whether you're using a fusion or you're heavy, as long as you're doing damage and that weapon's empowered, you're gonna get your grenade back. And as soon as you get your grenade, you can keep tossing it. And that gives you a lot of high DPS, all right? That's about it. If you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comment section. I'm also live at twitch.tv/Ekuegan. So, you know, if you do come to the Twitch side of things, I'll be here to answer any questions. Deuces, I'll see you guys next one. Wait, don't forget to turn notifications on to all, too, because if you don't, you're probably not going to get the video as soon as it comes out. Or if you are looking forward to any content from the channel, I would say definitely do that. Turn that on, all right? Deuces.